This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, pet parents and pet friends. This is Michelle Fern, your host on Best Pets for Pets. You know, here at Pet Life Radio, we love cats, we love dogs, and we sure as heck love rock and roll. So, what happens when you put them all together? Something cool happens. My next guest did just that, and I'm excited to introduce you to her. We'll be right back after this break.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There's no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, radio.com, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to introduce Janet Karel. She is the leader of the pack of cats, dogs, and rock and roll. Welcome, Janet.
Well, hello there, Michelle. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here. And, I gave a little bit of a quirky intro, but cats, dogs, and rock and roll are fantastic T-shirts that all relate to cats, dogs, and rock and roll, which I love. I think almost just about everyone loves, if you're a pet parent or wannabe pet parent or past or, pet parent, you love cats and dogs for the most part. And who doesn't like rock and roll? It's been around, over 50 years. So combining all of it is just a triple play. But how did you come up with the idea?
Yes, well, first of all, you just described exactly what it is about. I should have you write for me, but you really got it down. And how it came to be is, well, I was employed. I was in business development in the corporate arena, and it was time to move out of that industry, and I wanted to do something on my own. And I absolutely love cats and dogs. They steal my heart. I'm a huge rock and roller, and I love wordplay. And I do that all the time in, all kinds of situations. So with that, I came up with cats, dogs, and rock and roll, which in itself is a play on words as far as the song, and then created a brand, rather. It's really, for lack of a better word, as far as cats, dogs, and rock and roll. And decided to come up with various names, and whether it be a band, a lyric, a song, along with a dog, cat, or a specific breed. And something that is a lot of fun. I always say it's not rocket science, but it does carry a rockin' good vibe. So I just absolutely adore the combination, and I concur with you, and that's really why I started, is because who doesn't? The heart wants what the heart wants. And whether you even have a cat or a dog, they sure love them. And if you're an owner, we all know. And as well as rock and roll, who doesn't like rock and roll? There you go.
Exactly.
I made my business, and that's what got me started.
And you know what? Sometimes people are between, fur babes, or thinking about it, or unfortunately lost one, or moved and couldn't take one, their fur babe with them. So, but even if you don't have one, this is a great, way to just express something in, as you said, kind of quirky and with a little wordplay. Tell me some of the titles of your T-shirts,
Sure.
because the wordplay is kind of cool. And explain wordplay, because we're heard all over the world, so people in other countries might not get what wordplay is, like as we're talking about it, So what is wordplay?
Wordplay is something where it is what it is. It's not a pun. It's a play with words, such as, and it can be also replacing one letter for, let's say, one of my t-shirt designs is Labby Road. And that is replacing just one letter versus Abbey Road. And thankfully, Universal was very kind to me, and I was able to get the copyright and the trademark for both Labby Road and Tabby Road, which is both, we know this, cats and dogs. So that is something that we can do, and if done correctly, you get the A-OK and the yes from the copywriters and trademarkers and so forth.
Wait, let me just ask you, for some of maybe the young people listening who might not know what Abbey Road is, because there might be some, that are some really young people that are like, what is Abbey Road and Labby and Tabby? What does that have to do? So Abbey Road is, obviously, you can explain.
Right. You're right. Some people don't know that. And that really goes back to what you said earlier, as far as some people don't even know about a certain album or a particular dog. They just like the design. And I had a couple who, it was Labby Road, and I said, oh, do you like Labradors? And they said, no. And I said, do you like the Beatles? No. And I said, whoa, you're just wearing this T-shirt and you want to buy it? Said, yeah, it's fun. And so that was that was an interesting conversation. But when it comes to Labby Road, Tabby Road, and a few others I can mention, it's the Beatles. The Beatles is, they released Abbey Road 50 years ago, and 50 years ago this year. And it's a very, very famous album with the crosswalk, the zebra crosswalk, where the Beatles are crossing it's a zebra crossing, and it's infamous. It's one of the most recognized album covers of all time. So I'd say, I don't know percentages, but it's one of the most recognized designs ever. And that goes along with the design itself. I have other t-shirt designs that hopefully are as not, obvious, but it's not as obvious as Labby and Tabby Road. But once you know of cats, dogs, and rock and roll, and you see an example of a t-shirt, that's when it really comes together as far as that's what it is. Because often I have to explain it, and they can think all kinds of things. But usually they get it that it's t-shirts, but they wonder if it's for dogs or cats or humans. So that's why my tagline is rockin' t-shirts for pet lovers. And still, you do have to explain it. The wordplay just comes into it. And ironically, wordplay is used by the Beatles a lot in their songs.
So let me ask, so I noticed you have quite a few designs that are Beatle related. So the Labby or Tabby Road, I Want to Hold Your Paw.
Exactly.
I can't think of it anymore, but I know there's a Stones one, Cat Get No Satisfaction, and help me, what else my mind is going, any others?
Oh, yeah. I Can't Get No Satisfaction, and that's Rolling Stones, and All You Need Is Pugs, which is another Beatles. Song, All You Need Is Love. And then you have Daydream Retriever, and that's based on Daydream Believer by the Monkees.
Yeah, that's really old.
That features what I hope looks like a golden retriever.
Okay, I recognized it, but I wasn't sure. I was thinking, is it Beach? I wasn't exactly sure who it was. But yeah, once it's, it's classic rock, and almost everyone out there listening is probably going, oh yeah, I heard that song. I recognize that. That's cool. And what about the one Rescue Me? Is there a song for that one, or that's...
Yes. It's well, she didn't write it, but she's known for singing it, Come On and Rescue Me, and that's Aretha Franklin. And so I thought that was a great use of actually the words and expressing Rescue Me. And then having that design where you have this little, kind of scrappy and scruffy dog singing into a microphone. And it's sort of a plea, rescue me. And that's what it relates to. And boy, do I have a lot of songs in the lineup that aren't here yet, but Rescue Me is my one rescue shirt. And then I have some coming for senior dog rescue and a couple of more rescue. But rescue shirts are really important. It's one of the largest, if not the largest. It's one of the larger, rather, categories of cats and dogs. And so people love to wear something they believe in. And most people, too, at the same time, love to wear something that's different. And it makes you stop. It really does. There's not many times when, whether it be myself or a customer wears my shirt or the shirt they bought, and they get smiles. They just get smiles. They love your shirt, starts a conversation, two people are talking, their dogs are happy. And I think, in terms of what's best for pets, I think when it's a pet owner, what pet doesn't want a happier pet owner? And not that there's an exact correlation to it, but there is. And it's a way of somebody, whether you be a pet lover as far as cat, dog, whatnot, you're expressing and showing your love
Exactly.
in a fun, playful way.
Right, exactly. Do you have any interesting stories? You told us one about the people that were buying the Labby Road. Are there any other? I'm sure you have a couple of great stories of people buying a T-shirt and saying that, it's for this or this and also, I know you said they're for two-legged people, but I guess if you have a really big dog, you might be able to get into maybe not even that big, into maybe get your pooch into one.
Exactly. I have two nieces, and they have their kids, and they're tiny. They're small. They're 2 and 4, and I had two mediums of Lappy Road, and they can wear them as nightshirts or anything like that. If they can fit on them, they can fit on even a larger dog or a small dog, and do something creative, just not even that creative, but just tie it around the tummy or something like that with the dog. Yeah. If the spirit hits. Also, there's the design itself. And so for an artist or a creator, they could take the design and then put it on some other piece of material and then wrap it around them or use it as a collar or put it on a floor mat, water mat, and all of that. So it could be. It could be, double sourced. I don't carry pet apparel, and that was a conscious choice.
Yet.
Who knows? That can change.
Who knows?
I may end up, carrying whether it be mugs and magnets and so forth. But believe me, selling one product's enough for me.
Okay. Okay, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to hear maybe one of your really fun stories of somebody that bought one of your T-shirts. We'll be right back after this break.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
Hey everyone, Michelle Fern here. Are your fur babes experiencing anxiety and stress? Do your dogs cower in fear and bark excessively? Does your dog have separation anxiety? Are your cats clawing the furniture or hissing at each other? Well, there is a remedy. Have you heard the term, music soothes the savage beast? It's true. And not just any kind of music, but specially tuned frequency music on the solfeggio scale. The whole tone solution provides total peace for your pet without the cost and side effects of drugs and tranquilizers. It's safe, effective, and guaranteed to work or your money back. You will notice a positive difference in your fur kids. I did, and I was amazed. And we have a special offer for you. Visit WholeTonesForPets.com and use the promo code BESTBETS for $10 off. That's WholeTonesForPets.com and use the promo code BESTBETS for $10 off.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Best Bets for Pets, and I'm talking to Janet Karel, leader of the pack at Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll. And we're talking about your Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll T-shirts for humans. All you pet parents out there, you can get a look at her product at catsdogsrock.com. And of course, all this info will be on the Pet Life Radio site under Best Bets for Pets under this episode. So you don't have to worry if you're jogging or biking or driving your car. You can always go there and the information is there. And you can get the link is right to her site. So Janet, what's a really funny or interesting story from one of your customers?
I had one recently, and I thought it was endearing. I just thought it was endearing, and it was very flattering, and it stands out of my mind. And that was when I was in a bank, and I was in line, and I was wearing my Can't Get No Satisfaction shirt. And I got to the banker, and we were doing business, and I believe I was purchasing a cashier's check. And usually they charge for that. And so I went to pay for it, and he said, "Nah, I'm waiving it. That's because of your shirt." I love the Rolling Stones, and I think it's pretty funny. So for that, it's a pass. And I just thought that was great. I thought that was very, very sweet. And I was like, wow, because whether it's not that much, someone's paying attention, and they liked it enough to do that. And to make the connection as well. So that was more endearing, as I mentioned. And then one was kind of funny. Thank God nobody got hurt. I was wearing one of my leg shirts, and I was hiking, and I was with my friend in kind of a rocky terrain, and these people were coming towards us. And so we were trying to, move ourselves around, and we were still a little far away. And this guy points to me, and he goes, "I've got that shirt. I've got it." And then he started to slip and fall.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
You don't have to get too excited about it. And thank God he was okay. But I thought that was it was funny. Thank God nobody got hurt. And then we talked to them afterwards. And let's see, another one happened to be in Sausalito, and I was walking down the street, and I was wearing a tabby shirt, Tabby Road, and this father and daughter were riding their bikes down the middle of the street, and then she screamed to me, "Oh my gosh, I just got that. I just got that for Father's Day." And then he said, "Oh, you did you?" And she goes, "Oops," like that. And they were visiting from Minnesota. So that was really neat. And what's really nice is that it's not that out there, as much as it will be, but it isn't. So when I hear these comments and they recognize them in the shirts, then that just really gives me a great feeling too, because it's not, I usually normally don't sell in retail stores. It's all online and e-commerce. And then for special orders, very large ones, where I would give wholesale pricing, given so many, whether it be for an organization, a breeders group, a rescue group, then it's a different story. And then I would customize that for them. But otherwise, it really is, found online. And I've been working very hard towards making it more available and more people to see it and so forth. It's not as easy as what people think. So I've been learning a lot there, too.
Never is. Okay, so those are great stories. Now, Rescue Me is one of my favorites, but I also love the sample that you send, Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll. I love that one. But I love Rescue Me because
so do I.
I have all rescues, and there's 7 of them. There's a lot. And
yeah, I can imagine. People can't stop.
No, there's 8 now. 8.
Oh, my gosh. 8.
Oh, my gosh. 8
and those are all dogs?
We have a little zoo going on here, A couple are outdoors and they're cats, because cats they breed like crazy. And I'm just so much a believer in rescues, because there are so many unnecessary deaths of cats and dogs because of people not taking the right care of them. And there just has to be more. This isn't a show about that, but there's I've talked about it plenty on both my shows. So there's definitely a huge affinity for rescues from me and Pet Life Radio and a lot of people out there. So I think Rescue Me is a really great T-shirt. What is your favorite?
What is my favorite T-shirt?
Yeah.
Well, that's hard. That's a tough one.
Okay, two.
Oh,
What's
boy.
your favorite two?
Okay. Oh, gosh. Where am I? I have, this is in my website. Actually, a customer said this. It's the first to wear and the last to wash. And kind of comes to me in that way. I have to say, because it was my first, Labby Road is one. And then I love Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll. I think that's a fun one. I just think it says it. And I love the logo. And I enjoy wearing it a lot. But that's hard. Then I think of All You Need Is Pugs, and I think can't get no satisfaction. So it's tough. Daydream Retriever, I enjoy them. I really do. And I've been giving it a lot of thought is to actually focus on the breeder, whole breeder groups and associations for some of the dogs that are breeder specific.
But what about mutts? Let me ask you, what about mutts?
Oh yeah. Well, I do have a couple. I don't want to just like spur. I do have some. I can.
Well, Rescue Me is kind of.
I can say one of them is the last, but it's a monkey song and it's pretty obvious. I'm surprised that no one's done it yet, but it would be The Last Train to Muttville, and that's a play on the song. Last Train to Clarksville, and you just have to get that.
Okay.
And yeah, you don't get it so much. Not you, some people don't, some people do, but it's got the word mutt in it. And if it's towards a certain demographic, they will get that. And a lot also don't really even, towards.
Wait, I have to tell you something quickly. My producer, who's a musician, he said it should be Last Train to Barksville.
Oh, I like that. There you go. That's cute. I like it.
He usually doesn't. I thought he was coming into the studio, I'm in a recording booth, so I thought he was coming, and it's enclosed, so I thought he was coming here to say, wrap it up or do something, whatever. He goes, you should make it this. So, okay, he doesn't have to take any credit. You can just send him one when you make one up if you do. But hey, but that's could be a good generic one for the mud people.
People get involved. Then people start thinking. And also ask, do you have one for Shih Tzus? Do you have one for Collies? And it just goes on. And it's hard because you want to be able to, do that. But at the same time, you can only have so many, or you can rotate them or what. But as Barksville, that's great. And that actually can play with a lot of various songs if it works in terms of the sounding of it. And I also there's a couple that are coming up, and it's more for senior dogs, and it does go towards rock and roll, and it's for more of a baby boomer generation, but an oldie is a goodie. There's a term, an oldie but a goodie. And that to me sounds, I think it's appropriate, and I like that a lot. But it comes more. There comes so many more. It's just endless. But as far as mutts, I think that would be the only one right now. And then I have a Beatles one, too. And that has to do with rescue, though. But with mutts...
What's the Beatle rescue
one? A lot of
one?
them are. I'll just
you can't put it... We can't talk about it yet, so... That'll be coming soon.
After this amount of time that I've been doing this, and people take your ideas, or maybe do.
I don't want to do that. Don't share yet. People, stay tuned. You have to go check out the site.
I'm like looking at my long list, and I love them. And the thing is, I do want to share them. That's it's hard not to. So you want to get them out there. Because your producer just did. It's a collaboration. You start getting ideas. You start generating. It's a lot of fun, and that's one of the big reasons why I like it so much, as well as, of course, cats and dogs. So I was really able to combine three loves, plus a hobby that I have, too. So there's love in it, there's a hobby in it, and I love seeing people happy. And it doesn't take much.
It does all of the above. And you have all sizes. They come in a lot of colors. What's your size range? And then let's talk about where people can buy their cats, dogs, and rock and roll t-shirt. So what sizes do you have?
There are some that are extra small to, it can go a lot large.
So you go from Mrs. Extra Small to like men's extra large or extra large?
Yeah, there's this one brand I work with that goes high in terms of the extra larges, but normally it's small to 2XL.
Okay, so you have a good range of sizes for almost everybody.
Yeah.
And you have a variety of colors, too, for different ones. I know some are, like the Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll is black, and Tabby Road, if I remember right, it's like a gray or green color. And there's
it's like a heather forest. It's a heather forest, and this week I'm adding gray. So for both Tabby Road, I have both. I have it just in heather forest for unisex, and for women's I have it it's called heather blue, and there's a gray, and that's those are really popular. So I'm bringing in another color for Labby Road. There's not many shirts that have women's in them. It's mostly all unisex. But there's
That's
a couple.
Right. I think we're used to it as women. For most T-shirts, you just go unisex and, either go for your regular size and it might be a little loose or it might be a little bit big. But the quality is there. And the sample I tried on, the size was fine. It wasn't skimpy on size. And it was, the quality's there for everyone listening. If they're thinking, I wonder if they're nice T-shirts. They're not, I don't want to I don't want to point any fingers, but they're not like the places where you could just get something printed on for cheap.
Oh, yeah.
They're not that kind of quality, people. I'm not saying it. I don't want to get anyone upset, but the quality it's nice. So they're nice quality T-shirts. So you did good, Janet. Now, where can people buy them?
Thank you. Well, they can buy them, I'll say right now, online, and they're not in retail stores at this time.
Okay, so where can they buy them on?
catsdogsrock.com.
Okay, and for everybody that's listening, as I said before, for every show, we have a little, informative paragraph for the show. We'll have a picture and we'll have a link to the catsdogsrock.com website. So, if there's so many, digital radio stations, they talk, and there's nothing where people can go back and look and say, oh, that's where I could find that or whatever. But we have that for every single show.
Yeah,
exactly.
I want to absolutely emphasize that. And let me know if I can add another that's highly popular too that can be found. But I don't know if one is Cats, Dogs, Rock, and the other is Etsy, and that's one too. And you would have to look up Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll and find the shirts there too.
On Etsy, okay, great.
Oh yeah, Etsy.com, and then search for Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll. Possibly search for Cats, Dogs, Rock, but definitely Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll, just all wrote out. And you'll see the whole collection, and it's through Etsy. But Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll, Cats, Dogs, Rock, you'll go right to my store.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Janet, for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling us all about Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll. And for all you pet parents out there, check out the site, catsdogsrock.com. Great stuff, great gifts for any time, and just the coolest teas ever. So again, thanks, Janet, for creating such a great product and for coming on Best Bets for Pets.
Thank you, Michelle. It was fantastic, and I enjoyed myself very much. It was great.
Okay, cool show. It's always fun to combine Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll because who doesn't like Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll? So a big thank you again to my guest, Janet, for coming on Best Bets for Pets. Thanks to my crew. That is why I love Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll. Thanks to Mr. Z and Dennis and Nikki and Charlotte and Molly and Sammy and Jethro and Dennis and Jazz. I don't think I forgot anybody. It's like you're forgetting your kids. And so thanks to all of them for making me love Cats, Dogs, and Rock and Roll. And thanks to my producer, who is an amazing musician himself and knows everything about rock and roll. So thank you, Mark, for making me and my guests sound fabulous. And thanks to all of you for listening to Best Bets for Pets for many years. We are at 9 years old. We are growing, and it's been a fun and exciting ride. Now keep listening because you never know what we're going to have coming up.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.